This local game store made their own Commander ban list, and we're going to take a look at it today. Now, this is the second part of our series going on with the artifacts Ether Flux Reservoir. This is a 4-mana artifact. Whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life, and for each spell you've cast this turn. And with all that life, you can pay 50 of it to deal 50 damage to target creature or player. I don't know what creature can even sustain 50 damage. Sometimes the player can sustain 50 damage. That depends if they've gained more life than you. Oh my God, the Aetherflux Reservoir mirror must be absolutely miserable to be up against. You'd have to pay. Yeah, I guess you just don't want to take the first shot because you spend 50 life to kill somebody, but in response they can spend 50 life to kill you. It looks pretty I don't know, super obvious. Looks like combo is off the table when it comes to this local game store. They don't like the idea of combo around here if Aetherflux Reservoir is not allowed. Other than that, is this really a completely busted card? Don't we want to end the game? You also, let's say, I don't even know if you can, through storm means, actually, can you through storm get enough life to kill the entire table with the Aetherflux Reservoir? I understand if you have an infinite life combo, you can do that pretty comfortably, but then that's a 3-card combo. Shouldn't we reward people for assembling a 3-card combo on the battlefield? The card is Loaded Revolver on the table. Benjamin Berkey says, I don't know shite about what's good or not in EDH. Well, let me tell you this, Benjamin Berkey. There's a lot of cards that are banned that are not necessarily that good, but they're just super annoying. Corbinick, on the stack, I give myself hexproof. Ha! Joke's on you. You aren't dealing 50 damage to me. You just dealt 50 damage to yourself. You lost 50 life for absolutely nothing. Good old... I mean, yeah, you could Teferi's Protection yourself. Teferi's Protection... I guess there's a few other cards that might give you hexproof. You could also Angel's Grace, I think. Would that work? Or that just put you to 1? I think maybe it'll just put you to 1. It will keep you alive, though. Wykill says, the first time I read Aetherflux Reservoir, I said this card says I win. There's a lot of I win cards. I mean, in fact, some of them just literally say you win the game. No, this is like another Millennium Calendar with a little bit of work to do. If you can win through Aetherflux, you deserve to win. Well, that's the way I'm looking at this card, but I guess this peeves some people off. It gives you a combination of life gain, which I thought everyone loves life gain. I thought life gain is like a Timmy thing sort of to do. But I guess if you have enough life gain, you can end one player immediately. I guess okay, so there's 2 sides to this card. You can either deal 50 damage to one person, and then they're just out of the game, watching or doing nothing. Or you have infinite life and you can kill everyone at the table, which I think should be fine. I think that's fair, unless people don't want those out of the sky victories. Corbinick says, "Imagine flexing so hard that you have infinite life and just kill their board." You know what? I just want to kill your board. I mean, imagine if you can't even target them. Imagine everyone has hexproof. Jeff says, Aetherflux win is hard to pull off, which is why, yes, if you win from it, you deserve the victory. Lil Defly asks, do you even play Commander Nikachu? Do you know what? I sort of do. A lot of my competitive friends don't play competitive anymore, so if they want to play Magic, it's now Commander. So if I want to play with my old competitive buddies, we are now casual Commander players. Well, I'm the only one still going to the tournaments. Lynn Corgi says, I like this more than the Felidar Sovereign. Trasaro, pay 50 life, deal 50 damage to your Llanowar elves. Hey, sometimes you do need to deny them of that mana ramp. All right, Aetherflux Reservoir, no good. For one reason or another. Next up, Basalt Monolith. There's a lot of cards. A lot of cards we have to get through today. I hope we get through them all. Basalt Monolith, a 3-mana artifact. Doesn't untap during your untap step. Tap for 3 mana. Also pay 3, untap Basalt Monolith. You have an infinite, it's a 1-card infinite combo of tapping and untapping this thing. Of course, there are multitudes of ways of getting extra mana with this. If you have a cost reducer, a card that says, you know, activated abilities cost 1 less to cast, or sorry, 1 less to activate, and then all of a sudden you tap for 3 mana, but you untap for 2, getting infinite mana. But this is like, I don't know about everyone else. I find Basalt Monolith clunky. I find any of the mana ramp at 3 mana, I just never really considered it good. Like this is fine or whatever because it does add 3 mana, so it's ramp. But you're paying for it. You're paying 3 mana to get that 3 mana, in my opinion. Just so I was like efficient, elegant, and clean, like all mana rock should be. And the worst thing about Basalt Monolith, all the arts are terrible. I don't like any of these arts. What's like the original? Look at this thing from beta. It's just this big rock coming out of the ground. Benjamin Berkey says the Millennium Calendar is what Yugi looks at when making plans, probably. Beefy Taco, based on the first 2 cards, this store doesn't like combos. No combos allowed. If you maybe they don't even like ramp. I mean, this is ramp. Maybe this is well, they remember they banned all the land destruction. So if they're banning mana rocks like this, then they got to ban the land destruction, because otherwise how else do you get to keep mana on the battlefield, or you're in a lot of trouble. Corbinek, yes, the untapping artifacts effect have never existed in MTG. Cough, 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 Voltaic Key. Exactly. Yeah. It's not just Voltaic Key at this point. We now have Manifold Key, the superior Voltaic Key. Looks a little, it looks like, what, the big rock in the middle of nowhere? Basalt Moth equals the first 3 mana. Yes, it is the first 3 mana rock. Honestly, maybe the best one. Is there a mana rock better than this one? I find all the 3 mana rocks, they're terrible. They're so bad. They're like 3 mana to add 1 mana, and it's some crappy ability that doesn't compensate for anything. At least this 3 mana gets 3 mana, and also you have the option to untap it if you really want to. Same local game store. That's right, we haven't gone through all their cards yet. This is the artifacts here. Our local game store is really banning Basalt. This one does. What's next? They ban Insurrection because it ends the game on the spot. Maybe. Okay, this Basalt Monolith. I don't know. Is everyone in love with Basalt Monolith? I just think it's like it's a commander. Like this is literally a commander card. Good for commander, but I don't think it's broken or anything. But I guess the abuse is you might turn this into infinite mana. So no bueno. I don't know the local game store. It is an unnamed local game store. Someone was complaining on Reddit that the ban list was quite excessive, and so that's why we're making a show out of it today. And I'm actually in support of local game stores taking control of their ban list. Okay, this one I think is going to get some support. Bolus's Citadel. I think this one's going to get a little bit of support. This is arguably the best artifact that you can tutor in the history of Magic the Gathering. This is a 6 mana, you can look 6 mana artifact, look at the top card of library anytime. It's like a super future site, except you can cast the cards on the top of your library with your life instead of paying the mana costs. So, I mean, you're not limited to anything, not limited to your mana. Tap, sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life. Does anyone even use that ability? I mean, I guess it's a fine way of finishing people off. Gonna get people with that. I do find cards like this are obnoxious. It's like obnoxious amounts of card advantage. Although the only way you can stop them is if they hit running lands, and we all know that people don't even play enough lands in the first place, probably to support their Bolus's Citadel. Trisar says this card is really good, but I don't know if it's ban worthy. Run more removal. What do you mean, like artifact removal? Imagine this in the old Tinker decks. Oh yeah. What do you think they tinker out? What do you think they tinker out these days? What do you think? It's Blightsteel Colossus? Morning Mudasir? Christopher B, show idea. Rating cards that are worthy. What does that mean? Legendary red and or white non-villains? You gotta be a little bit more specific. I have no idea what you're talking about. Leon Corgi, it says, needs to be errated to have cumulative upkeep to punish the cheating into play. You know, honestly, the card would still probably be good. And it's got like be a super expensive upkeep. Because like the first time you get Bolus the Citadel in play, like what are you gonna do? Get like 9 permanents in play or cast 9 cards? And then on top of that, like, so the first turn you're going to get a lot of value, and if somehow it gets to the second turn, you're still going to get a lot of value. You'll pay the upkeep at least once, because remember, you're not actually paying mana for any of these cards. So I don't know, like the cumulative upkeep is pay 10 life or something. Like, it's got to affect your life total, because that's the resource that matters for this card. Jasaru says, if you see a Bolus the Citadel on the table, you have just put a bounty on your back. Well, that's fine, because I think the Bolus the Citadel player is willing to just win on the spot. Benjamin Berkey, I think it's fine, but I'm a filthy vintage player. Ooh! We have a Black Lotus aficionado around here. Beefy Taco says, it is a good card, but it's 6 mana, and 3 of it's black. What does that mean to the black player? You heard of Dark Ritual? Have you heard of any of the rituals? Have you heard of Cabal Coffers? Can I interest you in a Lake of the Dead? Like, black doesn't have any trouble ramping. It's one of the original ritual colors. 6 mana is like nothing to that color. They'll get it out on turn 3. The 3 generic mana, they'll get it with, well, I don't know about in this metagame, but they can get it with Basalt Monolith. Maybe a little harder in this metagame. Maybe a little bit harder. Mudasir, oh, come on. Bolus the Citadel is amazing. And everything but ban-worthy. Bit of an overreaction. Oh, you should have seen the cards they banned in the last show. Ykill says, worthy is a new equipment from the upcoming Thor's Hammer to be released. Ah, interesting. Okay. Okay, I'll learn a little bit more about what's worthy, and then maybe we can make a show out of it. We're going to... look back on old cards that should be worthy. Black, green, and black are crazy with the ramp. Yes, all 2 of those 3 options. Labeled black twice. My only beef is casting Living End for 0 life. Are you allowed to do it? You may play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than pay its mana cost. Equal to its... Oh, maybe you can. Yeah, on the top, you may play the top card. And I guess it's just from your hand? That sounds weird to me, but I guess it works. The original ritual... Yeah, the original ritual color. Still sometimes is. Hard to cast Bolus the Citadel, just use the Clark Clan Ironworks. That sounds like an obnoxious way to get it in play. Also, it doesn't give you the black mana. All right, sounds like everyone is for Bolus the Citadel. This card is weirdly banned on this ban list. Next, we got... Okay, I can get behind this one. Chromox. We are banning the ramp, it seems. The ramp is a no-go at this local game store. 1 land at a time. You can rampant growth, but you can't Chromox around here. 0 mana artifact with the imprint, and tap, add 1 mana of any of the exiled cards' colors. I don't know about anyone else, but I've play tested a good chunk with Chromox, and was the other one? It's probably on this ban list. Let me look for it. Mox Diamond. I think Mox Diamond sucks. Like, Mox Diamond, you have to sacrifice your lands. I'm not really flooding out all that much. If anything, I find that I'm still land deprived. So the thing that I would much rather discard is actually a blue card. In fact, some of my lands are blue cards. Beefy Taco, any card that both ramps and cheats deserves a potential ban. Whoa, what? What is cheating here? This is a 2-for-1, buddy. If anything, I actually think Chromox is fair. This card is banned in Modern. Wow, it's banned in Historic. I would not complain if they unbanned Chromox. No lie. I would accept a clean exchange. Chromox with Mox Opal. You hear me, Wizards? Because this is a 2-for-1. You use up a lot of resources to get this Chromox in play. Once you imprint that card, you don't get it back. You know, this isn't like that Eldrazi land where you like basically imprint an Eldrazi onto it and you can tap the land to put it back into your hand. No, it's a one-way street. and you get something ramped out. But if you don't win with it, you're just down a card for nothing. You spend a card for tempo. Okay, not gonna lie, I'm behind banning all 0 mana artifacts. You know, I'm fine with that in the more competitive formats for the most part, but I don't know about Commander. Corbinic show idea cards chat wishes were banned while Nikachu defends them. Oh, that's interesting. Because we're probably gonna do one where cards need to be banned, but I didn't know I have to I have to defend them. I have to needlessly defend all your cards. How are we doing? All got any extra turns of mass land destruction cards yet? No, those are all done. We're not gonna have any more. Now we're apparently on our what's it called? Our ramping the era of ramping. No, same one as last time, but we're going through the artifacts and I guess the lands. Because I don't think, yeah, we're probably going to go through only the artifacts and lands today. Unless I can plow through them all. My counter pitch, Force of Will, is bad because it's 2 for 1 for a 2 mana effect. Believe it or not, that is real. As someone who's played with Force of Will a lot, like if you're in an attrition match where they're trying to 1 for 1 you a lot, Force of Will sucks. Force of Will really, really sucks in those matchups. Crawdaddy, I once tried to playing this in an artifact deck. I couldn't pitch anything to it. Oh no. That's the downside. Not everyone can play Chromox out there. And that's even a good thing. I don't want artifact decks to get more 0 mana stuff. I'm not sure where the government handout thing is from. But anyway, Chromox, it costs 0 mana. But you know what? It's not 0 mana in paper. It costs a lot of money. You gotta pay a pretty penny. But not when you're shopping at FusionGamingOnline.com. Let me tell you why. Because I got a great deal for all of you. If you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout, you get 5% off all your Chromoxes and also all your other cards while simultaneously supporting the channel. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel at FusionGamingOnline.com. All right, back to our banned cards. Next banned card. How do we feel about Chromox? I actually don't know what the temperature is like. How people feel like with this fast mana. I actually have no problem with Chromox. Again, because of the card disadvantage. You want ramp? Okay, you get ramp, but at the cost of your card. Benjamin's like, fine. What about Coalition Relic? That's not 0 mana, and it's absurd. Is it? Coalition Relic? I'm pretty sure I know what that card does. It's like, it's 3 mana and you can store a mana. I think it's terrible. I think it's awful. Tectonic Nightmare. Honestly, I'm not that annoyed by it. Mana fixing, but you lose 2 cards. It's not, isn't it? How is it mana fixing? Well, I guess, yeah, okay. So if there's a color in your hand that you don't have any colors for, you can play the Chromox, pitch that color, and then all of a sudden you got the color here. All right. Can you pitch cards with a waste mana in its cost to tap it? Nope, because it says add 1 mana of any of the exiled cards' colors, and colorless is not a color. That's the catch to colorless. It can be a basic, but it can't be a color. Okay, next up. We probably could have foreseen this. The Grim Monoliths! And who would want this card in the format? It's so much money. How would people feel if all reserve list cards were banned in Commander? No reserve list card Commander. In theory, that would make it more accessible. You wouldn't have to lose to stuff like this. 2 mana, doesn't untap during your untap step. But why would you care? Because you're going to add 3 colorless mana and hopefully just ramp out your Commander and win the game right then and there. Tectonic Nightmare, pitching an Eldrazi would be a waste. It would be a waste. Cormanic says Chromox is the same thing as a Boreal Grazer. It's fine and it doesn't block. It's similar. Okay, Voltaic Key you're a very big Voltaic Key fan. Tectonic Nightmare. Yes, that is a lot of mana. You'd be partying like the Urza Saga days. Stormy Cat says most reserve list cards don't see play in EDH, but the ones that do see a lot of play, don't they? Gaia's Cradle, Grim Monolith, Time Twister. So there are, I mean, like the dual lands, the reserve list dual lands. So there's actually a lot of reserve. If you try hard enough, you look hard enough, there's some reserve list cards that see play in like every deck. then slivers would be dead because some slivers are on the reserve list. What, the Sliver Queen? I thought Sliver Queen has been power crept out of the game. You gotta be kidding me. There's like 2 other 5-color slivers that are better than Sliver Queen, unless you really want the infinite combo with it. Oh man, there's infinite combos with Sliver Queen. I bet it's on the ban list. YKL says, if Basalt's on the list, Grim would be too. Yeah, I know. Basalt is like, I don't want to say it's a strictly worse Grim monolith, because you have to put some effort into untapping this, because it's not going to untap during your untap step. But Grim Monolith is, so Grim Monolith is all ramp, whereas Basalt Monolith is ramp, and you know what? You're going to play, it's almost like a clunky Soul Ring. It's all about the clunky Soul Ring. We got Marsh on Life. I only like stores having their own ban list if the area has more than just that store. You mean like a network of stores on the same ban list? Now that I've never heard of before. That's wild. It's like in this town, they only play by this ban list. Like or this state. It's the Kentucky ban list or something like that. Teutonic Nightmare. Somebody ought to do a secret lair drop for this artifact with AM from I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream as the art. Grim Monolith? Emudasir, just a single effect that reduces activated abilities and you have infinite mana. Again, we have infinite mana. I guess it's super easy. How many cards out there reduces abilities by 1? Colorless, of course, but you can figure it out. And 1 Null Rod and all this stuff doesn't work at all. Ban Soul Ring or ban the reserve list. Interesting. We got a Soul Ring hater out there. Too easy, too fast. Soul Ring probably should be part of the Power 10. You know, frankly, I think they could take Time Twister the hell out of there and just replace it with Soul Ring. If they were to make a new Power 9, would Time Twister even be on it? Like, Time Twister is a really strong card, but it's like on the similar level as like Wheel of Fortune. It's not like we say Wheel of Fortune is one of the best cards of all time. Corbinek says, the sheriff office enforcing the county's MTG standards at card stores makes me laugh. We got Marsh on Life. I'm in NC. Was that new? I don't know what that is, actually. We have Lion's Eye Diamond, which is CDH and Canadian Highlander, but then we have Guild Gaming, any commander but CEDH. I don't know what any of that means. I mean, I understand all these words. I just don't know how the restrictions work. We got Gabe, Power Artifact, best combo with Grim Monolith. Isn't that a reserve list card? Power. Because I was looking into this for my Urza's deck. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to build this Urza deck without infinite combos. I want to be nice. You know, when I pull up to a commander night and I pull up with Urza, I don't want people to go like, Urza. I want people to feel like I'm not going to combo off. But yeah, it is on the reserve list. Not even that expensive of a reserve list card of all things. I guess because it's so narrow. Next show, how many cards reduce activation costs? Yes, for science. I need to find out for a friend. Cormac, I'm honestly surprised Balance isn't in the Power 9 over Time Twister. Probably because back in the day, Balance like wasn't that big of a deal, even one-on-one. Like what you got to look at it was like a one-on-one sort of thing. It's not like they were playing Commander back then. Teutonic Nightmare 0 Troll Ring, tap, sack this artifact, destroy all artifacts named Soul Ring. The Troll Ring. Basically, you have what is that? It's like City in a Bottle, but for Soul Rings. Mercenary EDH used to have different ban lists for which one can't be used as a general. Before that was wiped out for a singular simple to remember list. That's too bad. BB Taco, Zerta the Dawn Waker is also a combo with Grim Monolith. That's true, actually. I forgot. That card is banned in Legacy, too. I totally forgot. Zerta doesn't look like that much to me. But it's actually banned. It's banned in Legacy. Too strong. I don't even know what the list looked like back then. Why is it called the Collector Oof? Because it's a collector of oofs. Ooh! Okay, next up, we have Grimmaw. Let's go with Lion's Eye Diamond. I'm detecting a theme here. Now, to be fair, this card only, I think only exists in combo. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is anyone playing Lion's Eye Diamond fair? Like any soul in the world. Lion's Eye Diamond to me has one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to like pay the mana on like Past in Flames, like the flashback cost, or pay the mana on like basically any tutor with flashback cost, either to get Past in Flames and so on. Kono says a lot of these ban cards won't be used fairly. I mean, hey, there's people who use them fairly, but they're evil anyway. One with nothing but mana. Some cards you just can't play. I know, and I'm looking at Lion's Eye Diamond. I feel like this is probably one of those cards. Oh, it's a Breach combo card too. That's right.
No, God, please, no.
Got no cards in hand, no problem. You're casting him from the graveyard anyway. That's how it works. Again, the 0 mana artifacts. Has anyone heard of Chalice on 0? It's an excellent way to deal with all this crap. Beefy Taco, okay fam, if Breach is banned, then that's most of the problem solved for Lion's Eye Diamond. Is that it? I think there's still the flashback cards. I think you people should be afraid of Past in Flames. Mercenary says Grim Monolith was on the Legacy ban list when Type 1 and Legacy ban lists were separated out before it was justified to remove Grim Monolith off the list. And now it's just a fair card. It's not even that big of a deal. Crawdaddy. It was bulk until Infernal Tutor was printed. It's a madness. Oh, it's mad. You know what, Corbin? I never heard of that. That sounds absolutely amazing. You know, you Lion's Eye Diamond. How does this work? You add 3 mana, and so can you cast your madness cards? Because you cast it as an instant, you discard it, but then the madness triggers. You have the mana on the stack, right? So madness triggers, then you cast it for the madness stuff. That's amazing. Now that's someone playing Lion's Eye Diamond fair. YKL says LED helps equip Helm of the Host to Godo for the win. Oh, that's also a creative way. But that's also another combo. So, okay, so we got Past in Flames, we got Underworld Breach, we got Helm of the Host with Godo. Okay, I can get this card. It can do no good. This card literally can't be played fair. No one's going to play nice with this card. Next, Mana Vault. Of course, it's a 1 mana artifact. Doesn't untap during your untap step. It is the Dark Ritual of colorless mana. You get 4 generic. And at the beginning of your draw step, if it's tapped, you're dealt 1 damage. And yeah, that's about it. Sorry, you tap for 3. It's the Dark Ritual. You tap for 3 mana. You pay 4 to untap it. I misread this thing. It's a completely different thing. Okay, Gabe is like, this is fine. I honestly don't think this is fine. Wow, this thing's really expensive now. They banned Mana Crypt, and like this thing became the most expensive, the default new expensive card. The 30th anniversary thing is going for, oh god, where are we going here? I didn't want to see the price. The 30th anniversary is going for $100. I guess because they like the brick. It's a weird. I actually like the original mana art for Mana Crypt. I think this is boss art. I think it peaked here with Mark Tedden. You got this weird cube that's levitating off of this energy source. It's very Doom looking, but it looks very dark magic like. It is still busted as hell since Mirrodin came and went. Marsh on life. Kin and Dex can untap this easily. Just talking about, I can be trusted. I can be trusted with this. What does that mean? Corbinek, turn 1, the 1 ring right there. With what? You need a little bit more. You're a little short on mana. You need what's it called? You need a Chrome Mox or something. Gabe, great in CDH. Yeah, 1 health point per turn is worthless. Who's winning through combat damage? Kano says, I bet Mana Crypt would be here if it wasn't already banned anyway. Oh yeah, absolutely. Mercenary, I recall seeing that art as a kid. It's very, very iconic looking art. Marshall on Life, I want you to do Ristic Study next, please. Oh no, we'll get there eventually. Eventually. They don't like combos. They don't like fast man. They don't like you doing anything too oppressive here. Basically, if these cards ever annoyed anybody in the history of Magic the Gathering, it appears to be banned. Kinnan cannot untap it easily, only during upkeep. Well, it can easily do it on upkeep. Does this local game store also go by the official ban list? That's a good question. I'm assuming yes. Why kill 1 land, 1 soul ring, 1 mana crypt equals the 1 ring? Is there a mana crypt on here? Mana crypt is not on here. That's funny. Mox Diamond. No, like I said, I actually don't think this... I think Mox Diamond is pretty overrated. I could be wrong about this. And it's funny, like, people in the pre-modern community are coming around to thinking that this card is overrated. Or, like, you can't clearly have 4 copies of this in your deck. You just... It's super clunky. If you want to have a lot of copies in your deck, you need a lot of land. You know, you end up with these hands of, like, 2 Mox Diamond and 1 land. And, like, what are you going to do? You can either play your land drop or you play your Mox Diamond. You really don't go anywhere. So the hands with Mox Diamond are always awkward. They're always so awkward. Yeah, Mox Diamond is $1,500. Well, I mean, it depends where you get it from. It depends on the quality. According to Scryfall, we have it at 1,300 for the foil version, 1,100 for the... Well, okay, it's 1,500 in Canadian. But you can get at fusiongamingonline.com. It'll be 5% less if you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Think about that. The 5% less. Full Tia key still goes bird. No, it doesn't. Not here. You're going to spend 1 mana to get 1 mana. You didn't go anywhere. They don't like being... Yeah, no one likes being asked to pay the 1 over and over again. Like a broken record. Crawdaddy, I remember buying my 2 copies for $50 each. Greatest investment of all time. Titanic Nightmare says, I do wonder why this is so powerful either. I mean, it's a lot more susceptible to removal as well as removing a land from your options. It's still technically mana ramp, and it's expensive just because it's on the reserve list. That's the bottom line. If this wasn't on the reserve list, it'd have the same price as Chromox, guaranteed. But because it's on the reserve list, this is like, it's still ramp, it's still valuable, and it's a very small supply. So you got to get your Mox Diamonds while you can before this becomes like inevitably a $5,000 reserve list card. Ew! 0 mana artifact, says Mudasir. Wykill says, Mox Diamond could be cool if you just want it in your graveyard. Oh, graveyard. I have done that before. Yeah, just fill your graveyard for Threshold. I've been there. Titanic Nightmare. The Voltaic key was for the last... Oh, for the last card, yeah. Protopon. Reprinting it fixes that problem to a degree. Yeah, but reserve list. They're not gonna do it. They don't like it. They don't do it. Maro creates this Mox Diamond to see if you can fix the Moxes. Yeah, does not fix anything. Do you watch Cold Ones? You are in their most recent video. They got that rug of me. Did they talk about me again? I don't really watch the Cold Ones. I'll maybe check it out if I remember. Okay, but you know, it's what I'll never forget, and that is Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards on Magic Online. Reserve list or not, that doesn't exist in the digital realm of Magic, and you have access to all cards, all formats on Magic Online through Mana Traders. Support the channel using coupon code Nikachu _Z4M and rent 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. Remember, on Magic Online, you can play all paper formats to Commander, 4-player, 1-on-1, Standard, Pioneer, Modern, and more. And play all formats with Mana Traders. All right, we'll go back to our ban list here. How do people feel about this ban list so far? You guys like it? You don't like it? I think Mudasir loves it. Mudasir is like, oh man, finally a place that banned all these 0 mana cards. Ooh, this is an interesting one. This is an interesting one. It's Mycosynth Lattice. Mycosynth Lattice is an interesting card because this card also sort of doesn't play fair. Like, why are you playing this card? Not for Painter Servant reasons, that's for sure. Old permanents are artifacts and additions or other types. I wonder if I have a card in the Great Creator that can screw around with, I don't know, everything that you have. Old cards that aren't on the battlefield, spells and permanents, are colorless, and players may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. It does fix your mana, though, for anyone that's looking for mana fixing. It's a weird mana fixer, of all things. BB Talk says, I'm surprised it sees as much pre-modern play. Talking about Mox Diamond. I've never played the format, but I do play Pauper, and it's a slower format. Fast mana is good, but not great. Consistency is everything. Oh, yeah, and Mox Diamond certainly creates inconsistency. That used to be outright trash at launch. Yeah, this definitely looks like a card that in the beginning, you know, it's like they print it, it's like, what is that going to do? And then over time, they keep printing more cards that make this card more powerful. Collector Oof, Karn the Great Creator, and so on. Hellkite Tyrant is a funny win con for this. Tectonic Nightmare. Gabe, it's fine on its own. Helps artifact decks a lot, so long as you are not using it to do dumb combos. How does this help artifact decks? Like, isn't everything an artifact already? Like, what would make your deck less? Yeah, I think it helps other decks that have artifacts. The store hates artifacts, and to be honest, I'm behind them. Says Moodus here. I'm being emotional. Why Kill says this show's ban list helps. This show's ban list helps creature players who like combat. Stormycast says Mox Diamond is good in the land destruction deck in pre-modern. Yes. And the Oath deck. There are some good Mox Diamond decks out there. Corbinik, I remember when this was a combo card with Memnarch before Karn came out. Tectonic Nightmare, it combos with Darksteel Forge for a do-it-yourself Avacyn. Stormycat combos with Vandal Blast. Oh no. Vandal Blast blowing up everybody's artifacts. Kono says it's printed in the same set as March of the Machines, if I recall correctly, so a jank combo already existed. Well, I mean, it first came out in Darksteel. That was the first one. And it did not actually come out in March of the Machines. Unless you're talking about unless the secret lair drop came out at the same time, but I don't remember. Oh my god, there's a Memnarch in the background. Do you see that? Is that an Easter egg? Is that an Easter egg here? I didn't notice that. We got Memnarch. Remember, Memnarch steals artifacts. Mycosynth Lattice makes everything an artifact. It looks like Memnarch has plans up his sleeve. Big plans. Urkel's Recall is even angrier. Unsummon everyone's board state. Everybody. Lattice is a major groan test, especially when someone wipes everyone's lands. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna melt down for 0. Also melts you down too. No, the card named March of the Machines. This is a reference to the books. March of the Machines, the card, not set. Wow, yeah. Oh, I forgot March of the Machines was literally a card. March of the Machines, a 4-mana enchantment. Each non-creature artifact is an artifact creature with power and toughness. Going as far back as Mirrodin. Okay, well, they banned the Lattice. It seems like people are pretty impartial to this thing. What is this card? Nim Deathmantle. I think it's an equipment. It is an equipment. Is it combo equipment? 2-mana equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has Intimidate and is a black zombie. So far, so good. Whenever a non-token creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you can pay 4. If you do, return that card to the battlefield and attach Nim Deathmantle to it. Equip for 4. Is this... Okay, this has to be a combo. It's a combo I'm not familiar with. Blue Bomber is like, oh, hey, my favorite combo piece with Tyrant Dragon. I steal your board when it connects. What does that do? Tyrant Dragon. Or are you talking about Mycosynth Lattice? At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Tyrant unless you pay 4. Flying double strike, pay red. I don't get this card. I don't know how this combo works. Corbinek says, I remember when this card was hot. Is it not now? Crawdaddy, combo with any creature that creates 2 or more creature tokens with Ashnod's Altar. That sounds hard to pull off. Tyrant, Tyrant Hellkite. 6 mana, 6/5. When it deals combat damage to a player, gain control of all artifacts. Ah, that's a lattice combo. Very, very, very lattice combo. Kind of says combos with that artifact creature that sacks for Wooburg. Artifact. I'm not familiar with it. So you sack it for Wooburg, and then you can bring. Oh, you can bring it back, and you have infinite mana. But then you still gotta do something with the infinite mana. Whenever a non-token creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you can pay 4. If you do, return that card to the battlefield and attach Nim Death Mantle to it. Oh yeah, okay. So you can do that at any point. Mercenary says the first double strike creature that was spoiled. Okay, right. Composite Golem was definitely around. Moosier says this is a fair card. Okay, so this is just somebody at this local game store was playing a combo deck with Nim Death Mantle, and they're like, that is unacceptable. This 3 card combo cannot be. I guess like the rule is if it's 3 or less, you can it's banned. It's not allowed to be in your deck. But if it's 4 or more, I guess that's fine. They're fine with that. This was hot with Grave Pact. Tonic Nightmare was very powerful when it came out in Scars block, I think. Now it's just kind of power crept out of existence. It is a Scars card. It is old. It's an oldie but a goldie, says this local game store. Ooh, here's a card I think everyone's going to get around. Smokestack. I have to admit, this is a very frustrating way to lose the game. I was playing against this card in pre-modern, and like, I'm not gonna say it's ban-worthy, but like it's a very miserable way to lose. It's a 4-mana artifact, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a soot counter on Smokestack. And at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacks a permanent for each soot counter on the Smokestack. Except the Smokestack player, if I understand correctly, they can stack the triggers. Like, I could be wrong. Can you stack the triggers that like this? They have to sack. Oh no, it's at the beginning of each player's upkeep. That player sacks a permanent. Oh. That player, no, it's just that player sacks a permanent. I would assume you put the sack trigger on first, then you put the soot counter afterwards when it's on your turn. We have each player's upkeep. Wow, we have some hate for Smokestack here. Yeah, they can't stack the triggers, and I just question it because I was up against a pre-modern player that wasn't stacking them properly, and they kept sacking, or sorry, they kept adding the soot counter and then sacking. I'm like, can't you stack them differently? This is weird and stupid. But whatever, maybe they didn't know the full power of Smokestack. You can sack 1 less than everyone else. Yeah, I thought that was the point of the card. my opponent kept things fair. It still stung me anyway. The OG Stacks card. Is this where stacks come from? Smokestack? And we're gonna get all our Smokestacks in order. They banned Smokestack. I hate this local game store. Are you a Stacks player, Benjamin Berkey? Banned at the local game store due to no smoking sign at the front door. Smokestack is all the feel bad, says Ykill. Corbinek says, well, I have a funny story about this card. I played against a Smokestack deck with my sacrifice deck. Ooh. They met their match, did they? The opponent was very disappointed that they became my sack outlet. Thank God we've got a thank God I have a Smokestack player here. I need an outlet to combo off. Crawdie says this card is so fun for me. Okay, so we have a divided chat here. We got people who hate Smokestack. We have people who are actually playing it. Hey, look at that, Christopher B. Screw Smokestack. Christopher B went into hibernation all show today. Just come out to say this. That's how much Christopher B hates this card. Corbinek says, I love this card. We got to bring Sacrifice back. So Great and Aristocrats Stacks is from Smokestack. Next, you're gonna tell me they banned Stasis? Probably. Stasis is harder to keep around though. Stacks used to be a viable strat in Legacy. Yeah, I guess we got no Stacks thing anymore. I thought the OG Stacks card was Winter Orb. You know what? It probably was, but it did, like, I don't know, maybe the stacksing strategy didn't reach full potential until we hit Smokestack. Actually, that's not true at all. There were, oh no, this is old. This card's old. It's actually from Urza Saga. But there were definitely winter orb strategies a long time ago. But I actually only remember, I'm not old school enough, but I only remember winter orb strategies after Smokestack came out. So I don't know if Smokestack actually created. I don't know if winter orb was an original stack strategy before that predates Smokestack. Chitonic Number says, "Joke's on you. I'm into that." Yeah, I'm into that sacking sort of thing. Just play Sigarda, can't force me to stack. Well, sorry, it can't force me to sack. That's easier said than done. Stormy Cat, I love playing Winter Orb and Pre-Modern. Oh no. It's a trap, Stormy Cat. I'm telling you, it's a trap. I think Winter Orb sees basically no play in Pre-Modern. Like, it might be a sideboard card for some decks. It's pretty bad. Stacks equals Smokestack plus the taxes. Kono says, I've seen Stasis plus Kismet strats. Stacks has drifted in and out of Type 1 and Legacy viability. Okay, keep it unbanned to teach kids about pollution. Ykill says Stasis and Winter Orb was the first Stacks, and it was called Stasis. Now we just call it Stacks and not Stasis. We need to go back to Stasis. When Crucible of Worlds was finalized by Create a Card 2 and made a thing, did Smokestack started to get good? We made Smokestack good with our Create a Cards. Okay, okay, sounds like half of you like this card. Half of you would not play at this local game store. Ooh, this was an easy one. Soul Ring. Wow, I can't believe they banned this card. They banned the OG Soul Ring. There's so many cards. So many Soul Ring cards. I like... You know, I don't mind the new one. I really honestly don't mind the new art. I like it, but I still a sucker for like the OG art. Oh man, it's hard to find the OG art. There we go. It's just there's something about the OG art. You know what? Mark Tedden has a lot of bangers from back in the day. What? Benjamin Burke's like, I knew this was coming. I wasn't sure. Like this guy, like what you ban precons? Like every precon has a soul ring in it. You're telling me when I buy a precon from this local game store, it comes with a banned card? I guess it's easy enough to take like a basic land from the draft bin and just throw it in your deck, but still. I thought this is an institution of the format. Gabe's like, I just think make it a game changer. To talk Nightmare. They actually did it. How many Commander players come here? Commander, there's a good chunk. Mercenary says Birek's version. He did one hell of a job with the first revision. I don't know if... Oh, is that was that other one? Yeah, Burek. Burek did the other art. Soul Ring banned in a lot of places. This is fine for the local game store to ban. Every pre-con banned, apparently. They don't call it it's a pre-banned pre-con. Crawdaddy's like, I just don't care enough about Soul Ring anymore. Benjamin Burke is like, I can't play any of my fancy artifacts. They completely banned my fancy artifact smokestack deck. How rude. Mudassir is like, this is a completely fair ban. The OG Soul Ring art is the best. I am a huge fan of the OG Soul Ring art. Is just top tier. I believe I have an unlimited Soul Ring for myself. Not revised. Do they have unlimited here? It's got like the darker art. It's got the more spastic looking where's my Soul Ring? I think it's this. Yeah, I think I have an I might not. I think I have an unlimited Soul Ring. I got a fancy Soul Ring. Not black border, but it's got that old looking text on it. More pre-confiscated. Kana says, I prefer the OG, reminds me of Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's you know what? The old art just feels magical. You know, I like any art that feels like a mythic adventure. Anything that pushes you a little bit closer to like Thrones of Eldraine. J-Graw is like, when I saw the list, I thought they just want to prolong games because most of these cards make games end faster. There's a lot of players, they just want a nice long game. if they play 1-2 hour game, that's totally fine with them. They're happy with that. Local game store bans Soul Ring likes the long game. This is the long game local game store. Beefy Talk is this should be banned in Commander, period. People seem to be very contentious about Soul Ring. Random H, fair ban, with the exceptions that precons are still allowed to use it. Aren't some precons, like, the precons these days are broken, in my opinion. They're not CEDH, but holy crap, they're powerful. Blue Bomber, I thought they made a rule that precons are unable as long as it's out of the box. This is a custom ban list. I mean, they make the rules here. They probably banned that precon. There's nothing wrong with the OG art for Soul Ring, but I also prefer everyone else's versions besides it, says Mercenary. Yeah, they got pre-conned. Ooh! They got pre-conned. Look at that. The old art was inspired off Lord of the Rings and the old D&D art. What's up with jewelry being the most broken in Magic? Probably Lord of the Rings inspired. Where, you know, one ring to rule them all and so on. Did I name this local game store? I don't even know the local game store. It was not named in the post. So, I did not look or dig it up. Stormy Cat says a 2-hour EDH game sounds like cruel and unusual punishment. Some people like it slow and long, okay? Little Dead Fly. They like to take their time. They're not 1 minute people. So okay, Soul Ring sounds like half of you want it banned. Half of you are actually happy to see this thing banned. To make, you know, all the rest of the ban list more consistent. Okay, next up we got Static Orb. Ooh, Staxy card. Actually, what do I like any of these arts? Not really. 3-mana artifact. Players cannot untap more than 2 permanents during their untap phases. The only thing I like about this card is that it used to combo with a card called Opposition, where you tap you can tap a creature to tap permanents. And if I remember, the Oracle text on this is, as long as this artifact is untapped, players can't untap more than 2 permanents. So basically, at the end of your opponent's turn, you tap your Static Orb and you untap all your permanents. And oh my god, I cannot express how good of a feeling that is. I have played a little bit with this card before, and it feels amazing. It's like, oh, all of you can only untap 2 cards, but I can untap everything. I am awesome. I used to play 8 board wipes in my 2+ hour decks. Oh my god. Let's reset the board. Let's reset the board again. YKill says a local game store sells you a precon and it kicks you out for playing it because of the Soul Ring. They sell it to you and they probably give you a basic land. Stormy Cat, basically everything from my Urza deck is banned. Probably, yeah. Moodasir, if I'm having fun at something, I want it to last line. Yeah, you want the fun to last. There's another, like, I get it from doing these shows and listening to the community. There are people, they want long games to get their deck to do the thing that they designed it to do. There's another group of people, they want as many games to happen in a night as possible to increase the chances that they can win one of them. So it's like, if they're going to lose, let the game just end in 15, 20 minutes. Then you get on to another game. It increases the chances that you get to walk away with a win. Because, like, if you have a 1-2 hour long game, and that's the only game you play in the night, only 1 out of 4 people can win that game. Gabe says, just find a way to tap it on your own turn. No, that doesn't work. You have to do it at the end of their turn. If you tap it on your turn... unless you're talking about the opponents. They tap your Static Orb so they can untap their cards. Pendamon, I hate this card. Disregard my previous comment. Static Orb makes games too long. Too long is now a problem. Christopher B says, just do Loon Ring already. What the hell is Loon? Like Luna? Benjamin Berkey says, so this local game store hates stacks and fast mana. That's correct. So yeah, okay, the game can't go too long, and also the game can't go too fast. You can't have one or the other. Some people prefer to shuffle more than play. Corbinek says, MTG players are the new chess players. One day when Wizards of the Coast stops making new cards, we are going to have those little turn timers with only 5 minutes on the clock. Blue Bomber, I like fast games. Let me see more decks. Oh, yeah. Also, people like to play more decks at the same time. I don't know how people feel about Static Orb. I wouldn't care, personally. Okay, next up, Tangle Wire. Okay, this is like another Static Orb type of card. It's like you can't play your cards properly because your stuff is all getting tapped. 3 mana with Fading 4 at the beginning of each player's upkeep. That player taps an untapped artifact, creature, or land he or she controls for each fade counter on Tangle Wire. It's like a fair smokestack. All right, your stuff isn't getting sacked. Also, as time goes on, you're going to get to untap more permanents than less. Because smokestack, as time goes on, you're going to have less permanents in play than more. Stormy Cat, this card should be printed in Modern. It would be interesting, actually, wouldn't it? It would be very interesting, especially against, like, those stupid Eldrazi decks. Screw your millions of mana. Why kill it all? Actually, do you know what? I take it back. I bet the Eldrazi decks would play this. Okay, I completely take it back. It would not be against the Eldrazi decks. It would be for the Eldrazi decks, and I would big time regret. Wykill says, it also seems this local game store wants people to win through combat. Yeah, the old-fashioned way. Christopher B says, if they want to ease off slowness, ban tutors and fetch lands. Oh, they did! Well, they banned the tutors. I don't know about we haven't gotten to the lands yet. Oh, spoiler alert, they did not ban any of the fetch lands. Nothing slows games to a crawl, like endless shuffling. Oh, then you just bench, anything that searches your deck. I'm actually a big fan of the idea that you ban anything that searches your deck. Like, if you could have a rule 0, if anything would search your deck, it just doesn't search at all. Or you can maybe search the top 1 card of your library. Or maybe not. No, you still can't search that because then you have to shuffle afterwards. No, anything that would make you shuffle your deck is banned. I feel like this game just hates pre-2000 cards. Well, you know, the pre-2000s cards, they weren't really balanced. They weren't really... I don't even know what they were thinking when they made those cards. It's amazing Magic turned out the way it was with all the broken stuff that they made back then. It was the original power creep. Proliferate decks love this. Tangle Wire used to be great as well, but has since been power crept. Also, RIP, Glenn Agnes. We got Draco. Did we do Torpor Orb? No. This is not a card suggestion, so sorry about that. See you later, little dead fly. Crawdaddy says, I was once playing this with Atraxa against someone who had an Atraxa deck, though not playing it at the time. As soon as the game was over, he went to buy a copy. Wow. They learned the power, right? I mean, don't they use Eldrazi spawns? They don't need to tap? No, they don't, but you need mana to make those Eldrazi spawns. So long, Benjamin Berkey. Okay, we have Gabe. RIP green decks, no more ramps since they shuffle. Yeah, they would. Christopher B. My rule would limit you to the top 10 cards. Well, you still have to shuffle after that. Or do you want to shuffle the top 10 cards? Or do you want to do it impulse-wise? You look at the top 10 cards and you can put at the bottom of your deck in any order. Pre-2000s made cards... Sorry. Stormy Cat says, pre-2000s cards made Magic what it is today. In some ways, yes. A lot of very iconic type of cards. Magic wasn't designed to exist for a long time. But you know, once they got to this point, when they got to Nemesis and Urza Saga, I think they knew like this game was gonna be around for a while. And they were building the game for the long haul. Pre-2000s cards was in the experimental phase for which various cards got through. The experiment was over with Urza Saga. Okay, next up. We've got... Oh, they banned the One Ring. One ring to rule them all. One ring to, was it bind them? No. One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. No room for that flavor text, though. None at all. This card is broken. 4 mana, indestructible. When the One Ring enters, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. What a stupid ability. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on the One Ring. What a horribly designed card. Should be the burden counter is on you. and tap, put a burden counter on the one ring, then draw a card for each burden counter on the one ring. Unbelievable. Outrageous, simply outrageous. Banned in only modern at the moment. Only modern. I don't know how people feel about this thing in Commander, though. It is fine with a alchemy rebalance, +1 to the cost. Yeah, but you can't, not in Commander. Suspicious Soup. Glad I finally made it to a live stream. I've been watching the custom card and AI streams while getting stuff done. Welcome, Suspicious Soup. Very suspicious soup. Does it have a frog in the soup? Incoming to Fairies protection ban. I would be surprised if they ban that card. Tonic Nightmare says, get the local game stores to start investing in poker table card shuffler machines to speed up games. Believe it or not, those shufflers are like tens of thousands of dollars. They're like really expensive, but you can rent them apparently. I was at a casino once and they said they were so expensive, the casino has to rent them instead of owning them. So I guess that's something a local game store could do. By the way, it still chews up cards once in a while, so good luck wanting to get your cards shuffled in a machine like that. You're taking a chance. Beefy Taco, very fair ban. This card is almost an auto-include for card draw for any deck. Yeah, how do we feel about auto-includes? And this card does it all. I mean, it's like you don't die until the next turn. It's hard to get rid of this damn thing. The activated cost is nothing here. The activated cost on the alchemy rebalance is much more expensive. Gabe should have just put the damage on the tap effect. No, I disagree. I think the burden counter should have been on the player. So the one big so there was a big problem in Modern in that you can chain the one rings together. You keep making one rings. You can still do that in Commander too. You play a one ring, then you play an artifact that copies the one ring. You play cards that copy the one ring, so that you keep resetting the burden counters and you keep getting protection. You draw even more cards. Crawdaddy says, I love that you can use copy artifacts and still get the protection. Exactly. That's the problem with this design. But if you got to keep the burden counters all the time, so you went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then no matter how many copies you make of this thing, no matter how many protection from everything you get, next turn you're going to be domed for a bunch of damage. And you can't get rid of that, which is what should have been like. You look at Golem. You think when Golem lost the one ring, he got healthier? I don't think he got healthier. I think he got more sick. Because the burden is still on him. Yeah, the burden counter should be on a player. Tonic Nightmare, oh, I believe that, especially if you want to make sure that the machines are good enough not to damage the cards. That's correct with the shufflers. I get that question a lot in my comment section. Why don't they use automatic shufflers like in the casino? Well, you know what? They're not. They're very expensive, and also they're not perfect. You know, and the risk of throwing away like a $5 plastic deck of cards is not nearly as high as throwing away your $1,000 or $2,000 Commander deck. Mudacer, auto-include, bad design choice, but Lord of the Rings is my life, so I accept this broken card in my life. All right, so there's exceptions for everybody. Christopher B says, that's how you know Yu-Gi-Oh! Spin-offs are in the future. Auto shufflers, you just wear on your sleeve and are available in slums. Corbinick, I wish the One Ring was restricted in all formats. Interesting. I'd put burden counters on you and emblems so it interacts with the ring tempts you. Beefy Taco says, oh, so you're saying the burden counters work like an emblem? It should work like an emblem. Yeah, it should work like poison. You know, you get poison counters. It should be the same thing. Changing it to cast might make it okay. There's pluses and minuses to that too. If you change it to cast, then it gets around counter spells. Chitonic Nightmare says, yeah, you know, it's not even a flavor fail if you lose the One Ring, because then there's nothing to make you lose life for burden counters. They're just kind of there. Jeff said, yeah, exactly. Why does the next person get the previous person's burden? You know what I mean? If you can find a way to blanket every end step of the player before your turn, you get unlimited protection. Okay, One Ring is understandable. It's called the One Ring, restricted to one copy to make this balance. Commander. If the burden counters are on a player and surefire cells, I've killed someone before they repeatedly proliferating. Oh, you proliferated their burden counters from 1 to like a billion. Good for you, surefire cells. All right, next up. We've got Time Sieve. I could see this coming, actually, right? Because in the last show, they banned all the taking extra turn cards. Time Sieve is a 2-mana artifact and tap sack 5 artifacts. Take an extra turn after this one. There are some combos with this. Not a lot, I don't think, though. There are some. Again, hard to pull off. Vulnerable to graveyard hate. Crawdaddy says, no, blinking does not work because it's only if you cast it, which is why Phyrexian Metamorph and Sculpting still work with it. Huh? Talking about the One Ring? When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it... Oh, I see. Interesting. You cannot... yeah, I never thought about that. No one blinks the One Ring. But you can blink the One Ring to reset the counters. Killam's like, sounds like good old jank fun. Tivit go burr. Don't do it. Protopon is a huge fan of Time Sieve, it seems. Oh, says Jeff. See you later, Mudasir. Take care. Extra turn combo ×1. Yeah. We have another take an extra turn card. Well, we could have seen it coming. They seem to have banned every single card that takes an extra turn. That is not already on the regular ban list. There are certain commanders like Tivit that just abuse the hell out of this thing, says Surefire Cells. All right, then ban Tivit. Just kidding. They don't seem to want to ban any commanders yet. We haven't seen all the commanders. It'd be very harsh to ban a commander in Commander, wouldn't it? What in the hell? You gotta be kidding me. Winter Moon? Are you serious? Does anyone even play this card? Winter Moon, 2-mana artifact. Players can't untap more than 1 non-basic land during their untap step. Does this even see play in Commander? Who the hell wants to play this card? Is this even a thing? I mean, I guess it's like a second crappier Winter Orb. Somehow in my mind, like, people should have at least like 1 or 2 basic lands in play that completely kill this card. Or you still, I still don't see like Winter Orb like as an actual threat or anything like this. We all got mooned. I know. Blue Bomber's like, I didn't even know this existed. Yeah, it came out in Modern Horizons 3. People were big hyped on this card, and I was like, this card sucks. This card is so bad. Why would this be good? Seriously, people. Anyway, it sees no play. It came out, did nothing. And now it just sees absolutely no play whatsoever. Yeah, this card just sucks power-wise. Hates, stacks, tax, and extra turns. Number 1 is Azorius hate player. And yet, I bet Grand Arbiter Augustine is still legal. Surefire Cells says Winter Moon is practically only for monocolor decks. Well, you can put it in like a 2-color deck. You just make sure you don't have that many non-basics in play. Just have 1 non-basic in play, and you're good. Or, yeah. Crawdaddy says, I played in my Zedru deck. It's a symmetrical effect. Yeah, it's symmetrical. Is it any good, though? Winter Moon is just more Winter Orbs. But it's a bad Winter Orb. Use it with Bootlegger Stash. What's funny, okay, there is a big difference. If you tap this Winter Moon, you don't get to unlock your lands, unlike, what's it called, Winter Orb. Tectonic Nightmare. Did they forget to read the fact that it says non-basic and thought it stops all lands from untapping? But then it would just be like Winter Moon, right? Monocolor decks don't care about it. I think even 2-color decks don't even care about this. If your extra colors come from your creatures or your artifacts, they don't care about this card either. Jigra, I think if I play all artifacts and waste, then I might win every time. Gillam, those monocolor commander players, because they exist, of course. Winter Moon is to combat the greedy decks. I don't even know if it does any of that stuff. Anyway, Winter Orb strangely on this list. We have a confirmed 1 player in chat that plays Winter Moon. 1! A singular player. And of course, if we can't have Winter Moon unless we have Winter Orb. Winter Orb being the 2-mana artifact. As long as Winter Orb is untapped, players can't untap more than one land during their untap steps. And if you have the original copy of Winter Orb, you get to look at a wonderful image of a polar bear in the Arctic. That is, I don't know what the chasing of the orb thing is. That's a bit strange. I guess that's the winter orb. It's the orb that causes the winter. I guess puts the I don't know. Is this guy missing an arm? The art almost, I guess this is the arm over here, but it sort of looks like the winter orb art is almost AI generated. It's because you remember the AI sometimes forgets to give you all 4 legs for an animal. I could interpret it like that here. But anyway, we know Mark Tedden didn't use AI. Unless Mark Tedden has a time machine, which in that case, Mark Tedden is a lot more powerful than we think. Surefire Self says, now this is justified. You don't like Winter Orb? Where's the polar bears? They are north, and I think south, maybe south. Actually, I don't know where all polar bears are. Are they on both sides of the polars of the world? Ban the weather cards. So spring, summer, what is Summer's Veil? Flying Banana. Does Winter Orb / Moon lock down Toph Metalbender decks as it makes artifacts to lands, and those lands are not basic? The winter. Yeah, I guess it's a non-basic land. I think I would have to look at what Toph says. I don't remember what Toph says. Winter Orb, it is very cool. Snidey did an outstanding job with the revision as he remodeled it off of the glass balls and ice balls. Yeah, the OG one is actually quite nice. It's nothing wrong. Oh, sorry, this was Winter Orb. We were talking about Winter Moon. Winter Moon. I don't know how that card. I don't know how Toph interacts with either of these cards. Yeah, Mark is the first AI. Save the polar habitats. Tanak Nightmare is like, I think it's all good. The bear is kind of mad at this weird floating ball, and given the hatred of this card, it's not alone in this. Yeah, the polar bear is on the side of everyone who hates stacks. I hate playing Winter Orb, but every time I do, it works so well. Does it? I like, you know what? I like the idea of Winter Orb working, and in pre-modern, everyone loves the idea of Winter Orb, but it doesn't work, in my opinion. It's like such an overrated bad card. No, only on the North Pole? Okay, so they don't got them in Antarctica? Though these polar bears don't interact with the penguins? A lot of meat in those penguins for those polar bears. That seal is posing for the camera. Oh, is that? Oh yeah, there's a little seal over here in the bottom right. Christopher B says, hope Tedden can take me to a future where this crap isn't an issue. Polar bears equal Arctic. Penguins equal Antarctic. And certain southern countries. Oh, that's good to know. Whykill says polar bears are why it is the Arctic, as the Antarctic is no bears. Okay. Tatank Nightmare says, so sad that the Modern Masters reprint showed a decline in the polar bear population. Surefire Selves tells Flying Banana, yes, because all your artifacts... Okay, so the answer to the Toph question, yes, because all your artifacts would be lands that aren't basic, and thus would be counted as non-basic lands, and thus they get tapped via attacking them when you can only choose one. Gillum says, Winter Orb pisses the players off, so 100% works. Do the polar bears and the corpses have anything to do with the orb, or is this just a coincidence? I think the polar bear is minding its own beeswax, and then this orb comes around and says, stop eating, stop everything that you're doing, and then the polar bear is just frozen in time. Fan factor, this LCD should... What does LCD stand for? Should ban all... Oh, local game store. This local game store should ban all Johnny and Spikes from EDH and mandate no players can make plays aside from lands until turn 5. Well, I guess that's how it is. The Winter Orb is banned. I don't know how much people care about this card being banned, though. Okay, that's it for today. I hope everyone enjoyed our discussion. I liked everyone's takes, how they felt about this ban list. Some people like it, some people don't. It goes to show that this local game store is tapping into a market of people that hates these stupid magic cards that don't let people do things. That's basically what all these cards are. If you're not gonna let me do things, the card is banned. As usual, we do these shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, but also Tuesdays, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there. Also, thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. I love your opinions and your discussion. People from Surefire Selves, Jeff, Mercenary, Protopont, Adaptus. We got Jeff again, and many more. We got Why Kill Teutonic Nightmare, Fan Factor, Christopher B. So long. Don't let people tell you what to do. As usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees, and we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.